Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Yeah, you know what it is. Hard worker, scrappy, unfiltered, and sometimes unhinged football content. Hard to explain, but you know it when you see it. Doing it daily our way. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Redraft and Dynasty Fantasy Football, we got you covered. You know their defense is ranked like 31st in the NFL? NFL draft prospects and rookies? Now you know you in the right place for that.
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. And prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Count that money, man.
Now wipe the crust out of your eyes, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake your ass up with Ray G. You honestly are making absolutely no sense and you sound silly as hell. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Good morning, 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 good people. It is Wednesday, September 28th, 2022. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with Ray G. Welcome for that. I appreciate you being here, man. I hope everybody's having a fantastic hump day morning. Yeah, baby, I'm ready to roll, man. I'm feeling good this morning. The music, the vibes. Jay Rich, I was telling in the beginning that it's freezing cold out here today in Dallas. It's 50 degrees. Whole damn house was frozen.
It is not freezing. It's just a regular day in September for most regular people.
No, it's cold, man. It's frozen. How y'all doing, man? How's everybody? Who's got in the building this morning? Who we got in the building is Patrick in the building. Mike A, Dalton, Chris, Mike A, Joe's in the building. Hunter, Joe Green, Dynasty Barry, what up? Jeff, Lindsey Mack, Jacob, Matt Brunin, Carmen, Top Dog. Got a lot of people. Fizzle, what's up, Fizzle? Good morning, family. Good morning, good morning. All right. No more music. All right. Jay Rich, what's up, baby? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm ready to do the show. This should be a really fun one.
I'm glad you're ready to do the show.
Names.
I'm glad you're ready.
Thank you. I'm excited, man. It's gonna be a good show. We got a good Thursday night football game. Finally, hopefully.
We think.
I'm praying. Whiteout game, Cincinnati, Miami.
What's that mean?
I mean, oh, they're wearing the white helmets. You didn't see?
Oh yeah, I did see the white helmets. Okay, so they're going white helmets, white jerseys. So that means Miami gonna wear the teal, the green, the aqua green,
I'd
the teal
imagine
green?
so, yeah. Imagine so, yeah.
It's dope. Yeah,
Could be a good game. I'm
Tua
excited
and
for
Burrow.
it, man.
Remember, it was a long time ago. It was tank for. Let me ask you. Let's just start out.
Oh God, this wasn't even on the show sheet.
This is not on the show sheet, but back in 2020, eons ago, going into that 2020 draft, remember it was tank for Tua. For Tua.
Oh yeah, it was.
And then
Big
Tua,
time.
like when you really think about that 2020 draft class, man, especially from the quarterbacks, you had Tua, Herbert, Burrow, and Jalen Hurts in that class. Rank them right now for the rest of their career. Who would you rather have? Rank those four quarterbacks. Rest of their career, their fantasy career, however you want to rank them. Rank those four quarterbacks from the 2020 class.
Oh man, I think I'm.
This was not on the show sheet. Rank them.
I think it's Burrow, Herbert. I think they had to be 1-2.
Burrow over Herbert. Okay.
Yes, and the only reason why is that I think that there's a real possibility that Burrow peaked last season, but it doesn't mean that Herbert's making a Super Bowl. Right? So if you talk about career accolades, like Burrow may have the best at just making it to a Super Bowl. And that's the only reason why I think otherwise they could be pretty close. Like they both got good teams, good weapons around them. But I think I would go Hurts over Tua. I don't know if Tua's the guy, but that's where
the way people are talking about him. The way people are valuing him right now, Tua, he must be the guy.
All these guys are good.
People tell me he's a Hall of Famer already. Right? The way he's being valued, people talking about they need 3 first-round picks for Tua, 2 first-rounders and a quarterback. I don't know, man. I
think I go Hurts over Tua. I love what Philly's doing. I like what Miami's doing. I think Burrow and Herbert is going to be a tight race down to the end. But we'll get into Herbert. I do have some concerns about Herbert, but we'll talk about it for sure.
I got concerns about the Chargers, not Herbert.
Yes.
But the Chargers.
Yeah. Well,
Brandon
again,
Staley,
we're talking career and all this stuff, right? The whole projection is, I think I favor Burrow in that regard. We know he's going to have Chase. He'll probably have Mixon for a while. Could keep T, probably not. But, I think the stats and the accolades will always be there for both those guys. It's just who's gonna hit the higher ceiling, mountain peak accolades. It honestly could be both. Could be a toss up between the two.
I think today, like right now, on September the 28th, today, I would have to say Herbert, Burrow, Hurts, Tua. But if I'm projecting, I just got to call my shot today.
So you're taking Herbert today, even though he's not even made the playoffs and Burrow made it to the Super Bowl. That's my contention point
between Super Bowl. I think the whole. I think the whole Super Bowl, man. It's only 2 teams that can make that joint every year, man. That doesn't mean that these other quarterbacks are bad, right?
But again, it's not like these guys are cornerbacks making it Super Bowls. If you're a quarterback, you're kind of taking your team. Like Flacco, you can say what it's want about Flacco, Jimmy G, some of these guys that made Super Bowls, but like Burrow did his part to take his team to Super Bowl. The Chargers Super Bowl, like it'll be because of Herbert,
this
right?
Same argument is why people are like, "Oh, Lamar shouldn't get paid. Look how many playoff wins he has."
Yeah, I get that.
I think
that's a different conversation, right? Like getting paid and everyone should get paid, right?
The individual player, their talent, what they've done. I trust Herbert a little more than I do Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is phenomenal, but Joe Burrow is also his own worst enemy because he won't throw the fucking ball, man. He just gets blasted around back there every single week. Right now, it'd be Herbert, Burrow, Hurts, Tua. If I'm projecting, it might legitimately, I'm not even joking, for me, it might be Herbert, Hurts, Burrow, Tua. Tua's the last of the 4 for me. And no matter what scenario you lay out there, Tua's
he's
last of the 4.
He's not raising the team, right? Like,
no, he's not a floor
He's playing
raiser.
really well, but he's not raising the team,
He is not a floor-raising quarterback. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that to be the case. And I think that people are valuing him way too high in Dynasty right now. I mean, the people just want crazy shit for Tua right now, and I can't pay it. But before we get going, man, hey, big shout out to Mrs. GQ birthday today, baby.
Yes, sir.
My wife's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Is always 25 years old. You know what I'm saying? Hooked her up with some stuff this morning. We was in Mexico, hooked her up. Went to a little nice store, got her a little bag. The GQ family likes the bags. Man bag or woman bag. We like bags over here in the household. But shout out to my baby mama. Shout out to the wife. Shout out to Mrs. GQ. Happy birthday, baby mama. Love you, boo. But yeah, where we at? Would you rather show today?
Would you rather?
And we're gonna talk about this from. I'm thinking right now, Jay Rich, like, would I rather this player right now? And then we can spin it to Dynasty however you want to do it, man. So something that we talk about this shit every day in our Discord, man. Who we rolling with first? Who's the first player fight that we're going to have? Who's round 1 of this bad boy?
I mean, let's just continue the conversation.
Let's do it.
Ray, Justin Herbert or Lamar Jackson? Who are you taking? Would you rather? Okay. Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert. Who are you taking?
I think if you're talking about seasonal leagues, right? Redraft leagues, in my opinion, it's 100% Lamar Jackson. Sigmund Bloom, and let me see if I could find the tweet from Sig, man. Shout out Sigmund Bloom, man. Sigmund's a legend. A legend in the game. 101,000 followers. What a legend.
Woo!
Sigmund Bloom. But he tweeted out, I'm trying to find it. He was talking about quarterbacks and in single quarterback leagues, because a lot of people don't play in Superflex, right? But he basically said, like, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, these type of dual threat quarterbacks are kind of making, fade quarterbacks in single quarterback leagues. It's putting it to the test because you have a quarterback like Lamar that's giving you 100 damn yards a game, 80 yards a game, whatever it is. You have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts where you can count on 8 to 10, 8 to 11 rush attempts per game and 20 to 50 yards from Jalen Hurts every week. Josh Allen, had he not got stopped at the goal line, another rushing touchdown for Josh Allen. I think those guys, the Konami code quarterback wasn't created for fun, right? Those guys are the difference makers, even in a single quarterback league. Jay, I looked through some of my seasonal redraft leagues with, friends, coworkers, home leagues.
Yeah.
Bro, those teams where I got Herbert, Lamar, Jalen Hurts, I'm crushing everybody, man. It doesn't even matter that Austin Eckler is shit in the bed for me and Joe Mixon isn't doing it. Like, none of that matters. It's like I've got those quarterbacks, I've got one of the elite wide receivers, and I probably have a good tight end. And I'm just crushing folks, even in single quarterback leagues. So that rushing ability of a Lamar Jackson, even though he is not as complete of a thrower of the football, he doesn't have the hand cannon that Justin Herbert does, but not many people do. I think I'm taking Lamar Jackson, definitely in seasonal leagues. In Dynasty, I think that's where it's a little bit of a conversation. I have both of those quarterbacks in the same tier for me right now. Like, both of those guys are chilling in the same tier. And let me just look at who, because I tell people, oh, the tier, if as long as they're in the same tier, just draft whichever one, right? But you got to have a little bit of a preference, right? You got to, like, just keeping it real. There's, like, I prefer this one to the other. And right now, inside of my tier, the way that it's listed, like top to bottom, it's Josh Allen, and then it's Lamar Jackson. So right now, for me, if you're asking me, I would take Lamar Jackson over Justin Herbert in Dynasty. And this is not, I've been a Lamar fan since Louisville, right? So it's what I see him doing. And you give Lamar Jackson, some of those offensive line weapons and a Keenan Allen, a Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler. Imagine what he would do with those kind of guys. I would take Lamar Jackson over Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Ray, I think you made a lot of good points. Now let's just put some numbers to these points. Lamar Jackson in his 2019 MVP season, after 3 games, he had 863 yards, 7 touchdowns, 0 picks, 172 on the ground, and a touchdown, 28.9 fantasy points per game. But this season, he has 750 through the air, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks, 243 on the ground, and 2 touchdowns for 34.7 fantasy points per game. So he's already blowing out what he did in his MVP season. And to give you some more context, right now he is scoring an average of 15 points per game more than Justin Herbert. He's scoring 10 more points per game than Patrick Mahomes, who is QB4 right now on the season. It's not even that close for me. In redraft, it's 100% Lamar Jackson. I think the only concern in Dynasty for me a little bit, not a lot, a little bit, is if he does switch teams, right?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I think that as much as we love Lamar for what he is on the Ravens, they ask him to do everything. And can he kind of be just as efficient, just as good on another team? I believe he can, but there's some concerns from switching teams. But talking about Herbert, Ray, I was thinking about this a little bit this morning as I was going through some of the notes, looking up some of the stats about Herbert. And I would compare Herbert kind of to what Mahomes was in his third year, right? Mahomes in his third year was the year coming off the Super Bowl, and he was the guy, right? They came in, won the Super Bowl, all these things, phenomenal season from Mahomes. Herbert was supposed to be that revamped defense, running it back, do better than last year. And it's looking like that's not going to happen, right? Like, it's just not going to happen for him this year. Maybe they can get it together, but losing their left tackle is not good. He's out. I think he's out for the year, right?
Yeah, Rashawn Slater, that is a brutal loss for them.
And the replacement is terrible. Like, he's god-awful, right?
He's not good, apparently.
So that's a big problem for Herbert already. And, again, you still have Keenan Allen getting a little bit older. Austin Eckler, not trying to say he's lost it, but he's not really doing what we expect him to do. And so it's just a big disappointment overall. And so when it comes time to pay him and, some of these guys getting older, I feel like this was really the year for Herbert to ascend to like a max value. And it's just not going to happen, right? You look at Lamar, like we thought he peaked in 2019. It's looking like there's a new peak coming for Lamar this season.
Yeah.
So again, I think it's very difficult to not take Lamar over Herbert. And I would 10 times out of 10, regardless of format.
Lamar got in his bag, man. I meant we had some fun talking about him bending the Ravens over, clapping those cheeks last show. But credit to him. Every year, he's just worked and improved on it. And when you watch Lamar play, because there were a couple of times he ran the ball last game, and he's in like traffic, and he would just get down. He doesn't get hit, man. He does not take big shots. When do you ever see Lamar Jackson just get You watch Joe Burrow, and he stands there and just gets obliterated, right? Just rocked. Lamar, I saw him, I think it was last season, where somebody got him good. It was one of those games. It was a primetime game. Maybe it was a Thursday night or a Sunday night game, but it was the first time I saw somebody actually catch him, and they got him pretty good. And he got up, shook it off. He's a big dude, man. I mean, he's not 6'5", he's not Josh Allen, but he's, 2
He's still like 220, I think, right?
He's close to 220. He's a solid dude, man. But he never gets hit, man. It's one of the reasons why Russell Wilson was so good when he would run the ball, because he would never get hit. Like, he would get his 400 rushing yards through it, and he never would take big shots, and that longevity. Yeah. The difference, a lot of people's fear with Lamar is always runs too much, he's going to get hurt. I reference you to Robert Griffin III, and nobody took more wicked shots at quarterback than RG3. Every time he got hit, he looked like his body was just, you seen one of those like those scary paranormal activity type movies where the body's all twisted, all crazy. That's RG3 every time he got hit. It's not Lamar Jackson, man. He's 25 years old. I do agree with you, right? Like, if he changes teams, maybe
small concern, not a major concern,
right?
But you just never know, right? Yeah. Who he's gonna be playing with, the chemistry, like. It's very difficult to find a chemistry like Lamar and Mark Andrews, like Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, it's developed over years, and he's just, again, not a major concern because he'll still run, but a small concern, right? Because he's asked to do so much in that Ravens offense.
What's this quote that you have in here? What is this?
So this is Colin Cowherd. It just popped up on my feed this morning. Colin Cowherd, I think it was before the 2018 draft. Lamar Jackson's a project. He's not Sam Darnold. He's not Josh Rosen, was the exact quote on his show.
Yeah. That's not
pretty hilarious.
There's some bad Lamar Jackson takes out there, man. Some bad ones.
You talk enough, there'll be some bad quotes. But
you talk. Well, I mean, hell, we had some bad ones. We shit on Ramondre and had to come on here, and we did a whole month-long apology tour last preseason on Ramondre Stevenson. And I'll tell you right now, we're going to get to a player in round 3 where old GQ might have to be doing a little bit of apologies early this 2022 season. And the thing about me, I have no problem pivoting. I want to win. I want good players. So I'm not going to be the one that digs my heels into a pre-draft take from February when here in damn October the player's balling out and showing, oh, I am that guy. And we'll get to him later on in this battle royale. But I think we're going to both go with Lamar Jackson over Justin Herbert. Sign me up for Lamar Jackson. And that's no shade on Justin Herbert whatsoever. None. He's still in the same tier, but if I had to pick one or the other, it'd be Lamar Jackson. Round 2, Jay Rich, who we got?
We got Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes.
Interesting.
Ray, what are we going to do here? Because Mahomes, I mean, arguably still the highest job security in all of football?
Yeah.
Like, where is he going? But Jalen Hurts, prisoner of the moment, ascending talent, scoring more points per game, probably a better team, better offense, better weapons around him. Ray, make your case. Are you going Mahomes? Are you going Jalen Hurts?
It's Mahomes, man. I'm still going Mahomes. I'm still going Patrick Mahomes. Yes, I have Patrick Mahomes in my tier. He's right after Lamar Jackson. He's QB3 for me. It's Mahomes, dog. Like, and I think they are going through, I don't want to say an identity crisis, but they're trying to find themselves.
A transition, man. It is 100%.
It's a transition
100%. Without
Tyreek Hill. That was it's interesting because the narrative was, there were 2 narratives, right? There were a lot of narratives, right? How bad of a move it was for Tyreek to leave Mahomes and go. And he didn't leave; he was traded. Leave Mahomes and go to Tua. How Mahomes would be able to withstand whatever. Doesn't matter. You could throw MVS out there, Juju. They'll draft Sky Moore. We're good to go.
That's what you thought, right?
That's what we thought, right? I think that loss was much, much more damaging than I think Kansas City truly anticipated. It's the same thing that I talked about with A.J. Brown going to the Philadelphia Eagles. When you have a difference maker at wide receiver, I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face, man. When you have a difference maker at wide receiver, it opens up the offense. If you are void, if your team is absent a true number 1 wide receiver that defensive coordinators have to scheme and plot against, you're at a severe disadvantage, man. You look at every team that has one of those guys, and I don't care who the quarterback is, they're thriving outside of Derek Carr, okay? Outside of Derek Carr.
But look at Matt Collins, man. Yeah. Look at how much it opens up stuff, right?
It opens up everything else. And when I look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they have nobody offensively outside of Travis Kelce. And as good as Kelce is,
he's not doing that.
You're not beating,
right?
like, he's not beating defenses, right? This is, I'm trying to think because, I mean, Tom Brady did it with Gronk. Like, Gronk was that type.
That's fair.
Maybe it's at this point of Kelce's career, he's still nice, but he ain't the Kelce of 4 years ago, right? So it's like, all right.
And that was still a primary, remember, that was a primary rushing offense too, right? They ran the ball a lot. And obviously you still had the elite slot in Welker, Edelman, forever, right?
Kansas City, they may be good. They are good. Patrick Mahomes is dope. But this offense has not looked the same since they lost Kareem Hunt, man. You go back and watch the highlights of those Kansas City teams where they had a true running back that would take the pressure off of Mahomes. It's been like, when you really think about what's going on in Kansas City, man, it's very Tom Brady reminiscent right now of what Brady had in New England, where they're just asking the quarterback to make up for all the deficiencies around us, right? Like, we have no running back. We don't have a number one wide receiver. We've got a great tight end. We have great play callers, but we have no weapons around you. And I don't want to say they have none because Juju's better than everybody in New England, right? MVS is not very good. And so far this season, Sky Moore, I don't know if he's good or bad, but he didn't have any opportunity, right?
Well, they don't think he's ready, obviously, or he would be on the
he's
field.
not ready.
I guess it's kind of the way I would assess the situation. Maybe we think he's good enough, but they don't think he's ready.
Hunt was not Mahomes. Hunt and Mahomes played together. They were on the same. Hunt and Mahomes were together. They played together. But yes, it feels very Tom Brady-esque, man, where they're just asking him. And I do believe he's a floor-raising quarterback, no doubt about it. But the answer is Mahomes. I'm taking Mahomes over Jalen Hurts. He's not there yet. I love where Jalen Hurts is going. But here's the thing, though, Jay. Here's the thing. I bet you, in Dynasty leagues, you could not trade your Patrick Mahomes for Jalen Hurts straight up. If it was a straight up offer and you had Mahomes,
I wouldn't take that.
You wouldn't do it, would you? See what I'm saying?
If I had Hurts, there's no way I would do it.
I listened to the TLs. You've been screaming from the mountaintops. Justin Fields, woof. I hate Justin Fields. He's awful. The Bears are awful. No. Let me finish. Wait, let me finish. You talk all this shit about how bad Fields is. The move is to go trade Fields for Mac Jones. I take Mac Jones 100 out of 100 times over Justin Fields. I take Zach Wilson over Justin Fields is the worst quarterback from the 2021 class, and the situation doesn't get any better. I sent you Mac Jones for your Justin Fields. Oh, no, man, I can't do it. I can't. No, I don't really like Mac like that. It wasn't about that. It was the fact that he has a high ankle sprain. You tried to trade me damaged goods. You said it, though.
Again, there is more context required here. But yes, to your point, I did shit all over Justin Fields all offseason. It was the case of, do you want Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields? They're back-to-back in ADP. And I'm like, why the hell would you take Justin Fields that high? His team is terrible. Please, someone correct me when I've been wrong so far this season. Let's just call a spade. I've been right the whole time. Justin Fields has been awful. He's not getting you any value.
So why did you not trade him to me then?
Because I'm trying to win this league. I need points. I can't get points with my quarterback who has a high ankle sprain. Don't talk to me about this. It's a 14-team league, double copy. There's so many different things going around here. Either way, going back to the conversation, Ray, I need to ask you this because part of me, like, legitimately, people can say, how could you take Hurts over Mahomes? But Hurts has a secure job. Like, when is his situation going to change?
Not secure yet. Not yet.
Okay, but if you're projecting going forward, you project his job to be secure, right?
I think it's a lot closer.
He's got his weapons locked in till 2024.
Here's my thing.
When is Mahomes' situation going to change?
If we're playing Dynasty,
this is fantasy. This is
2 to 3 year window.
In real life, it's fucking Mahomes.
In real life, it's Mahomes. It's Mahomes. No doubt about it. Fantasy, 2 to 3 year window. I think Hurts can outscore Patrick Mahomes. 2 to 3 year window. I think you'd be fine.
Easily.
I think you'd be fine. So if there are people out there that are like, I would trade my Hurts for Mahomes straight up in a heartbeat, that's the pivot. I will send you my Mahomes for Hurts plus, and I will be fine for 2 to 3 years in fantasy. I don't care about
But you wouldn't get that, though.
People in the chat are saying right now, 100%.
If you could go get Mahomes for Hurts plus, do it yesterday.
No, if you get Hurts plus for Mahomes, do it.
Yeah, if you get Hurts plus for Mahomes, do it yesterday.
Everybody in the chat's like,
Mahomes has had one good game this season. And again, if you actually watch the games Mahomes has played, he hasn't looked good. The offense hasn't looked good. Clearly, there's a bit of a rift between Bieniemy and Mahomes, right? Because you saw the argument on the sideline.
No, it's not, man. That shit no, it's not. I'm telling you, it's not, man. That Mahomes wanted to go for it at half. Bieniemy said, chill out, bro. We're good. There is no rift between the two, man. That shit happens every Sunday in practice.
But again, if this continues to happen, the offense continues to struggle.
The offense is going to struggle. With those weapons, it will struggle.
But then why would anyone want Mahomes right now? He's scoring like a league average quarterback. You take out the Arizona game, which again, it's a big game. I'm not trying to say it doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, you still project him to be a good quarterback, an above average quarterback. He's scoring 18 points per game. That's in between Marcus Mariota and Derek Carr in real games against Indy, against the Chargers, right? You can't play Arizona every week.
Kevin says I'm bugging. No, I'm not. If you can get Hurts plus for Mahomes everybody has this notion, bro. I get this guy for my career. You're not going to have him for your career. You're not going to have Mahomes in 8 years. And if you do, and you're not trying to find ways to either tear up or tear down, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You will not have these guys for their career.
You shouldn't want to, right? You want to pivot when situations change, right?
I don't give a damn about what he's going to give me once he gets a wide receiver in 3 years from now. In a 2 to 3 year window, your running backs are going to be god-awful. Receivers felt. Jalen Hurts, within a 2 to 3 year window, is going to score you just fine. He's going to be just fine. And if you are enthusiastic enough and have that conviction that Mahomes in fantasy is in a different universe than Jalen Hurts, send me your 24 first and Jalen Hurts and you can have my Mahomes. Send me your 23 100%. First and Jalen Hurts and you can have my Mahomes. I'm not bugging, man. I know what I'm doing. I'm telling you. Like, it's easy. It's easy to do, man.
25 first. The deal is done. The deal is done. No, the deal is done, man. The deal is done.
I don't know about that one.
The deal is done. I don't know about
that
one. I don't see what people want out of Mahomes. Like he's just not going to he's good, but he's not going to score for as high for you in fantasy. He's just not. Every game, 2 high shells and they can't run the ball. So he just can't do anything out there. You saw what happened against the Chargers, you saw what happened against Indy. The ceiling just isn't quite there for games that you expect from Mahomes.
He's dope, man. I have him right after Lamar Jackson. In my rankings, 1 for 1, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes. But if there's somebody out there that will trade me a 23 first with Jalen Hurts for my Mahomes, I will do it. And I will not hesitate. I have no problem doing that. Say I'm bugging or not, doesn't matter. That's what we're going to do.
Yep.
That's what we're going to do. All right, what's up? Where are we at now?
You want the next one? Okay, so it's the battle of the Ohio State rookie wide receivers, Ray.
Let's get it. Battle.
We're talking Garrett Wilson versus Chris Olave. Where do you want to start with these boys? I pulled a bunch of stats, but I mean, in a vacuum, who do you like more, Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson?
Hold on. It's 3 weeks. First of all, it's almost a quarter through the fantasy season. It'll be a quarter of the way through the fantasy season. Everybody wants to, don't panic. If you're 0-3, 0-4, you're fucked. Panic. Yeah. I don't care if it's week 3, week 4.
Tell the Raiders about 0-3, right?
Yeah. They're fucked. So hold on. So if what AJ said, no doubt Mahomes finishes top 5. Okay, cool.
Then Who's he playing this week, right?
Who's he playing this week? Then he says Hurts will too. So if both players are going to finish inside the top 5 and I can get a 23 first or plus for the guy that's going to finish inside the same as the other guy, why not make the move? I don't care about 5-6 years, man. I don't care. 2 to 3 years, bro. I don't care about 5 years. And I bet you, and there are a few people in the chat who actually play in leagues with me. Dynasty Barry, one of the most trusted. Dynasty Barry, will I get him back if I want him? Yes or no? I guarantee you the answer is yes. You could trade back for these guys. Talk to him, Goat Rings. Talk to him, baby. I'm just trying to. I don't give a damn about 5 years from now. I don't. All right, battle of the Ohio State quarterbacks.
Wide receivers. So we talked about this a lot, right? Let's be honest, we were I don't know about you. I think we were kind of fading Garrett Wilson a little bit.
No, I wasn't. He was my wide receiver. No, he was a tier 1 wide receiver for me.
But did you draft him in any of your leagues?
Yes, I have him in Heisman Royal Rumble, the big 2018 league we're in. Yes, I do. And Evan said it. Ray will trade for anyone he wants, and if he wants someone back, he will get them back. Thank you. It's simple. It's easy. But yes, I was in on Garrett Wilson. I was not in on Chris Olave, though. Not at all. Not at all.
So where are you standing with them now, right? Because, yeah, they were going similar spots in ADP. Yes, you're right. We were more in on Wilson than Olave because they were surprisingly close in ADP, especially for rookie ADP. But now, you see them both thriving. They're top 2 in targets. I believe they're also top 2 in yards. Olave leading the NFL in air yards by a mile because he's got over 500 air yards. Right? Average at the target, 19 yards to Garrett Wilson's 10 yards. The biggest thing that's, probably the most surprising, Garrett Wilson running 55% of his routes from the slot versus Chris Olave running 80% of his routes from outside. Now, over time, we expect that to change. We didn't expect Garrett Wilson to be as involved early in the season.
No, I didn't expect that.
But he's obviously playing in the slot, so that kind of makes sense, right? And him thriving in the slot is no surprise because of how talented he is. But where do you stand with these two guys going forward? Might as well talk Dynasty because redraft, I think they're both going to be good. But Dynasty, I think the jury is still out only a little bit for Wilson because of Zach Wilson, not because of the talent. We're going to see how that situation changes with Zach Wilson, if it does.
Can we talk about that for a second? About Zach Wilson? Because first it was Zach Wilson is ass, right? He's terrible. Yeah. He's terrible. Then it was like Joe Flacco's good. Now Zach Wilson, like what? Okay, I'm all over the place because there's a lot to talk about here. We did like Garrett Wilson a lot. He was really freaking good. And I did not expect him to come in and be this dominant this early. No way.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect because I thought Elijah Moore was still going to be the one. I was like, oh, Elijah Moore is going to be the one this year where, we talked about this.
Not even close, right? He ain't. Although, did you see that he's got the most yards without a target and routes run in the NFL?
Wow.
Elijah Moore. So he's at least running routes and running deep routes, but he's not getting targets, which is pretty shitty for him. So it may change a little bit when Zach Wilson comes back. But getting back to Zach Wilson, how do you think he factors into this offense? Because to your point, people don't like him. They think he stinks. But I think at this point, there's no excuses. We expect volume, which is great.
Yeah. We expect volume. Yep.
We expect volume. We expect a bad team. It's just, can he deliver for the franchise and for fantasy? I'm more concerned about fantasy. Yeah. I think I'm more concerned about fantasy than for the NFL purposes because the Jets, who knows? But I think I'd be willing to take the bet on, and we talked about this a lot. Like Scott is very in on buying Zach Wilson for the low cost because if he hits, it could be immense upside because he has all the players around him to be good.
He's got a lot of players. I don't think
there's any excuses for him to not be good.
Zach's got 2 competent running backs, one of them really good in Breece Hall. You've got ascending young star receiver in Garrett Wilson. You have another very good wide receiver in Chris Olave. Then you got a serviceable 3 in Corey Davis. And then you've got a what would you say Conklin is, at least an above average tight end?
No, he's a good tight end, man. Yeah. Like he's a good tight end. He was good in Minnesota and he's showing he's good. And we know that Zach Wilson likes to target the tight end, right? So I think that's another key factor.
Does he? I don't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he targets tight end quite a bit.
Cool. Back to the original question, Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave? Man, it's I would rather Garrett Wilson, but Olave is good.
He's good.
He's good. At least he's being
safest wide receiver in the class.
They're using him. They're using him in the ways that matter. Downfield targets, man. And he's getting peppered. And the Saints aren't very good. They're probably going to be a negative game script.
Yep. And even when the
Dynasty,
score's close,
I would rather have Garrett Wilson because I had him ranked. I liked him better as a prospect coming out, and I think both of their ceilings are high. But I would rather Garrett Wilson over Olave. But I updated my 2022 ranks.
Okay. Tell me about it, Ray. Tell me, where's Chris Olave?
Chris Olave is 4.
Ooh.
Breece Hall, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave.
That was the order
4.
they got drafted, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, not Brees,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
but the wide receivers.
But the wide receivers.
Drake,
yeah,
Garrett Wilson, and then,
those are the three.
Oh,
those are the
would
three.
you look at that, right? And that's the PFF grades. Boom, 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 just like that, right? Like, it's yeah. I think the only concern I have for Garrett Wilson really is just target comp, right? And if it's going to be a factor at all for him, I don't think Olave is going to have any. Like after this season, you see Michael Thomas already hurt, Jarvis Landry already hurt. Olave getting 10 plus targets, I believe, in back-to-back games. Like, you talk about a guy getting peppered.
Yeah.
He's going to get peppered, right? And the only concern I think I have is that I really wish Sean Payton was still there because I love Sean Payton. I think he's a phenomenal coach. Love the way he's developed.
He might be better with Dennis Allen because he doesn't know what he's doing, so they just air it out all day. They just air it out.
Yeah, like Pete Carmichael runs the offense, and so that part hasn't really changed. But I do wish that Peyton was still there. But I think that's the only thing is that if you're comparing the two, I think Olave's situation long-term especially is just so wide open versus Garrett Wilson, who's going to have target comp for the next 2 or 3 years. It's just we expect him to be the alpha, and he probably will be. And how does that ultimately shake out in New York? And obviously, can Zach Wilson be the guy? Because we know that as long as Jameis is there, he's gonna throw it deep. Like he's shown that through his
I'm asking you, real talk, bro. Do you think Zach Wilson is that much better than Justin Fields?
Oh yeah. But again, we have to factor in situation here. Like if you're just telling me, do I think Zach Wilson's a better quarterback than Justin Fields? I'd say no. I'd say they're pretty close, especially for fantasy. Because I think Justin Fields is like 6th in the league in rushing yards at quarterback. But again, factoring in situation, infinite amount of times over, you'd rather be on the Jets than on the Bears. I think that's not really a debate at all.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
That's
quarterbacks,
saying something because it would be the Bears hands down. That's saying something when you're saying you'd rather be on the Jets than the damn Bears. I don't think he's that. I still have my reservations with Zach Wilson, man. I don't know.
I get it though. That's fair.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I have never really liked him, but he's got the weapons around him.
He has no excuses, right?
If he comes in and looks like shit, I don't want to hear any excuses. Oh, he's kind of like a rookie. I don't want to hear 100%. It, man. I don't want to hear it.
Like you look at even Trevor Lawrence, right? And the leap that he made year over year. Now, Urban Meyer has to be a factor in there. But again, like this is what we should expect from Zach Wilson. They brought in more pieces to make that offense better, assuming the franchise is competent and the offense runs well. He's had a year and a half there to learn it, get better. He should be good. And again, that's why I don't mind making the bet on Wilson, because if he hits, he probably hits in a major way.
When Wilson comes back, or does it shift to Elijah?
I hope so. I hope so, right?
You hope,
but I don't think it's a guarantee, right? Because we've already seen the connection between Zach Wilson and Elijah Moore play out on the field in practice. Obviously, same draft class, like that. That's a small factor.
Yeah,
and they've obviously had less practice with Garrett Wilson's had less practice with Zach Wilson.
All right, let's do another one. So where are we at? Who would you rather have, Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave?
I think it's Chris Olave. I really do.
Redraft and Dynasty?
Yeah, I think so. I think you could probably get Olave in a small plus for Garrett Wilson. I think I'd be willing to do that.
All right, next one. DeAndre Swift or Javonte Williams? Who would you rather have?
Such a gross question. Such a gross question.
How's this?
Because
Dynasty RB2 and 3.
The answer has to be Swift. But it's like, do you trust the guy to actually be healthy? And then you look at the Broncos offense and you're like, wow, they're terrible. When is that situation going to change? So it's just, man, I don't know. Like, Ray, give me some help here. Where are you at with these two guys? Do you trust Javonte to get, the feature role?
You know what I
trust? Going to be this split forever?
You know what I trust, man?
What?
Swift is, in my opinion, the better fantasy asset for a running back. Like his profile. He's the guy that's catching the pass. He's running the routes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, man, your best ability is availability. And this dude's been banged up. He was banged up at Georgia. This did not just start this year. Banged up in Georgia. Banged up last year. Banged up this year. Shoulder. I trust that Javonte Williams will be healthy. And he's a good back. He may not have the natural athleticism and talent that a DeAndre Swift does, but I trust that he's going to be able to handle his 15 to 21 touches a game and last. I trust that. The Broncos are kind of a mess. But if you're asking me which one I trust Javonte Williams a little bit more. And what was crazy about Swift, too, is even the beginning, I remember after week 1, and I kept saying Jamal Williams is going to be so annoying, and Melvin Gordon is, too. But, like, Swift to run it down there, and then they put Jamal Williams in to run it into the, like, to take the touchdown away. I think I would take Javonte Williams over DeAndre Swift right now. I think I would. Rest of season and long-term in Dynasty, man. Dynasty. And that I really can't go deeper than that because I think Swift is the better. You just put their talent profiles in a bucket.
Yeah,
and I believe
healthy,
I'd rather have DeAndre
100%.
Swift. I just can't. I've seen it much longer just than the NFL, man. You know, he wasn't really used as a primary ball carrier in college. That's not what Georgia does. That's not what they do. So I'm not going to knock him for that. And then it's always banged up, man. It's always something with DeAndre Swift. I'm going to say, and I mean, Swift is hurt, so it's easy. Well, and I don't know. You got to understand, Mike, I don't know how long he's out for. I don't know if it's a week. Even in seasonal leagues, a week isn't going to kill you. Like, I would, but I don't know if it's extended absence. I'm not sure. But
he's also been hurt since week 1, right? It's not like there is a new injury, but he had 15 carries week 1, then 5 carries, then 7 carries because he was been hurt. And now he has another shoulder injury. So it's
Swift
like, how long is that
can
going to keep
come back and still be a league winner. Javonte is in a tandem and not the. What the hell is Swift in? Is Swift not in a tandem?
He is. His highest touch output for the season so far is 18 touches.
Is
right?
Swift
Which
not
is
in a tandem?
pretty significant. I think the thing that people are kind of confusing, Ray, and you kind of touched on this without saying it directly, is like Javonte Williams is in an annoying situation because of Melvin Gordon. Like, Melvin Gordon is annoying, but Jamal Williams is necessary for the Lions. Like, they can't get rid of him.
Yes, he is.
Like,
necessary.
Melvin Gordon is annoying, but Jamal Williams is necessary.
That's a good way to say it. Yeah,
100%. And I think that's the difference here is that Javonte Williams could be a lead back, and they could have Mike Boone back there as a 30% snap share guy. But they want Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon's been good for the offense, so I don't blame the team. But it's not because Javonte can't handle the workload.
Great
With
question,
Swift,
FFA.
He just has not got
Great question right here. How many touches makes a bell count? We have had this conversation so many times of what constitutes a bell cow today. Like what? I don't know.
I think it's got to be 300.
I don't know.
Swift is a guy that gets like 200. Like, it's hard. It's hard. I think you got to be 250
crazy,
plus for
man.
sure.
I'm old enough to remember.
Be almost 300.
I'm old enough to like now. You look at the box score and your running back had 14 carries. You're like, man, hell yeah, Tony Pollard 13 carries. We made it. We made it. Nigga, we made it. We made it. Back in the day, like 5 years ago, 13 carries, you're pissed. You're like, man, why did my David Johnson not get 28 carries this game? Right?
300 carries targets. Was like the baseline.
It was like baseline, bro. It's just, it's the way of the NFL, man. It's the way of the NFL.
Yeah, 2 running backs had 300 carries last year.
JB said it's 300 plus.
Yeah, I think 300 plus. So, Ray, to give more context, 2 running backs had 300 carries. 4 running backs had over 250 carries. Dalvin Cook did have 249. And I think you were looking at maybe like you're seeing a lot more running backs in the 220 to 200 range than in the 230 to 250 range, right? Like there's even Zeke only 237 last year. Nick Chubb 228, but in 14 games.
Listen. I get goosebumps because I love talking about this. Barry just said it, and we don't have enough time on the show to dive into it. If you want to dive into it, patreon.com/allgas. How we construct our dynasty rosters, this shit matters, man. Like, it matters. It matters. We draft all these running back, hammer running back early. We got a bell cow. And I'm looking at situation. I was like, that's 1A, 1B. 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B, Derrick Henry, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B, Najee Harris, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B, Dalvin Cook, 1A, 1B. Like, it's only a handful of them that are these 20-plus touch per game guys. There's only a handful of them. Everybody else, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B, 1A, hot hand, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B. Yet we're drafting all these guys, round 1, round 2, when there is clear ones at the wide receiver position. Stephon Diggs, no 1B. 1.
Yeah.
1.
I think he's the 4th overall player in fantasy right now.
Justin Jefferson. I know he's had 2 down weeks. 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jamar Chase, a little bit of a shitty week. 1.
Yeah.
Kind of. T. Higgins is good too. But you get the point. Cooper
too.
Kupp, 1. No
Jalen
1B.
Waddle, 1. He's playing like it, man. Jalen Waddle, damn good.
All right. We got 2 more. Let's hurry up. Let's do this one fast.
We could go one more.
One
DK Metcalf
okay,
or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Somebody said
this is very tough for me,
bell
man.
cow. Okay, who did you say? I'm sorry. I didn't hear it.
DK Metcalf or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ray, why?
Give us the
numbers. Is
he
not going to regress?
No.
So the issue for me is, in a vacuum, are you still Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Man, in a vacuum, DK, not close. But
what
again,
does that mean? What does that mean in a vacuum?
Like talent, right? Not team. Like just.
Oh, okay. No, DK.
Like,
DK. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
DK,
in a vacuum, talent, it's DK, right?
Yeah, DK.
But you are taking a massive L on DK this year. You have to say this year not going to work out. Amon-Ra playing way above his head, leading the league in yak with a 5.8 ADOT right now. Is he going to continue to lead the league in yak? I don't really think so. There's a lot of more talented yak guys, literally ahead of everybody in the whole league. He could do it. I don't think he's actually going to do it. 2.48 yards per route run is elite, so there is that going for him. But again, is he going to continue this going forward? Potentially. I don't know if I believe it. And so the question for me becomes, is Amon-Ra a sell or a buy? We've talked about how he's still a buy, and I'm fine with that if you believe in him. I think DK is a massive buy, but you have to take the L on him this year. The issue for me is when I look beyond this season, because this season it's obviously Amon-Ra, would I be willing to trade Amon-Ra for DK plus to wait on DK until he gets a quarterback? And that's the question I struggle with, because Amon-Ra has been so good. I think he rests a little bit, but I think he's still going to be really, really good, talented, elite levels of production. But would we potentially take that L to get the ceiling of what DK could be? Because we know that he's got AJ Brown value ceiling if he gets a quarterback.
So who are you taking? DK or Amon-Ra St. Brown? Which player would you rather have? I think for the season, it's Amon-Ra, no doubt.
It's not close, but it's
Dynasty.
Would you
rather take the locked and loaded? He got his contract. He's one of the highest paid receivers ever. He's gonna have a quarterback upgrade next year. Would you?
And I think that's the problem, is that there's no guarantee he gets a competent quarterback.
Yeah, there's no guarantee. Yeah,
or a quarterback at all. Yeah. And Jared Goff has been good enough.
Where's Seattle at right now? Where's Seattle? What are they? 2-1, 1-2?
They gotta be. Oh yeah, they did win the one game, so they're 1-2 right now.
They're 1-2. They lost to.
They lost to Atlanta. Yeah, they lost to Atlanta this week, and then they obviously lost to the 49ers. But again, it's like they need a new quarterback. When's that going to happen? I think if you could get a plus, do it. But if you're telling me to pick one or the other, I think I have to take Amon-Ra, and it pains me because I love DK. I think he's undervalued. I'd be buying him.
Said trade DK plus. Buy DK plus for Amon-Ra.
Yeah,
would you do
I think
that?
that's the play.
If
you're giving me a plus.
If somebody said, I'll give you DK and a 23-second for Amon-Ra, would you do it?
I think I'd be willing to do that, yeah.
Or are you just saying that and then I'll send it to you and then you'll nut up and not do it?
I mean, I don't have Amon-Ra on any team, so you could try, but it's not going to happen.
All right.
But again, situation matters a little bit too in your team construction. Like if you're trying to win, you want Amon-Ra. But if you're willing to take that L on DK, then yeah, I'd be willing to make that move.
I'll say that a lot of people keep saying this. Once J-Mo is established, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown value might dip. If J-Mo's probably not going to play, he's not going to be established this year, right? Coming off the injury, he's not going to establish anything this year. If Amon-Ra St. Brown plays like this for the rest of the season, he will be established. Let's not forget, as talented as Jameson Williams is, he did it for one season in college.
Yep.
One season. With Bryce Young. Bryce Young got John Mechie. Hey, shout out to John Mechie, drafted in the second round. Let's not act like J-Mo was this guy. Like he was so off the radar, and this is not no slight to him, that in deep campus to Canton leagues where you got 12 teams, 50 deep rosters, he was on waivers. 600 players rostered in college, and Jameson Williams was on waivers. He did it for one season at Alabama with the Heisman winning trophy quarterback. Now, they probably both helped each other out, but there's 100%. No guarantee that he walks into that building and is like, I'm the guy. I'm the guy. The only thing holding that up right now, or the notion that could be a possibility, is the draft capital. And that matters to a degree. But if
the organization talked about how ecstatic they were to get him on top of that, right? So clearly there's a plan. There's a plan.
I'd be ecstatic. I want him. But that doesn't, we still need to see if he's in fact good.
Yeah.
Is he in fact good? Right?
For sure.
So if he goes through, if Amon-Ra finishes this season out on the same tear that he is, there's no questioning, man. And Logan said a 9-game sample size is enough for me not to be questioning it. And it was clearly enough for the Detroit Lions not to question it because they're continuing to use him. And the real loser, remember the narrative around Amon-Ra's once Hawkinson is there and Swift is there, he's not going to get. Hawkinson is the most fraudulent tight end one in Dynasty. He is the most fraudulent tight end one in Dynasty that still has value somehow, some way, because people are looking for the next Kittle, Gronk, Kelsey. Fraudulent tight end one. Fraud. Absolute fraud. All right, last 100%. One, rapid fire, real quick. Austin Eckler, James Robinson. Who would you rather have?
James Robinson. Yeah, I mean, Eckler's getting older. I'm loving the usage from J-Rob. I think it's going to continue. We haven't seen enough from ETN to where I'm really scared that he takes over from J-Rob in any way. I'm taking J-Rob. I think he's RB2 on the season right now. Where's Eckler? RB30? RB40?
I don't know.
RB50?
It's not that damn low.
I mean, let me see how low he is. He's probably pretty low.
Man. Chris said, what an oof question. Yeah, that's all I said was oof.
Eckler sandwiched between Melvin Gordon and Jeff Wilson, RB34 on the season, points per game. I think that's in standard. Hold on. That's in standard.
Oh, my.
Blame. Hold on. Let me look it up again.
Standard scoring? What are you doing?
RB13 on the season. Man, PPR changes things.
31, switch to 1. I'm like, wait a minute. He's caught a lot of passes. RB31.
Got a lot of passes.
If you play in standard
21 receptions this season. He's got to be leading the league.
He's catching. He's saving you with the receptions because he's not
leading the league
doing anything. Man. Yes, he's beast. Yeah. RB31 standard scoring. Get the hell out of here, man. All right, we had a couple super chats.
Gotta throw you for a loop sometimes.
First time live. Always watch after the fact. Love the show. Appreciate you, my guy or girl, whoever you are. We appreciate you tapping in. Love you for supporting us. Real talk. All right, got another one from Jeff, my man Jeff. Higgins versus Lamb this year in Dynasty. Answer the question, Jay. Higgins, Lamb.
Higgins.
This year and Dynasty?
Yep. Oh, man, I might regret that.
Lamb for me. Still CD.
It's that target share. It's like, what is it, like 35%?
Still CD for me. How are the Fresno State guys? Any good prospects? Damn, man. What a super
Jalen Cropper. Let's go.
Jalen Cropper is about the only one. Actually, Jordan Mason, the running back, is nice.
Yeah, they do produce running backs with production, like Ronnie Rivers is nothing.
Is he a prospect, though?
No.
I don't know. He's a good college running back. I like what I've seen from Mason. Jake Hayner, no thank you. Jalen Cropper, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, good question. All right. Appreciate y'all tapping into the show. Make sure you stay tuned. We have what we got coming on the content pipeline, Jay. What are we doing?
We're doing ranking show tomorrow, but we're doing it live. That. Yeah, not doing it live.
We'll do a ranking show.
And then Friday, we'll do a fun show. Friday. I don't know what we're gonna do on Friday.
We'll have fun around the world. We're just gonna talk shit all Friday. So make sure you tap in. Here goes $100 super chat. Look at this. It's not even a real super chat. The Wake Up Show has elite level talent and upside. Appreciate you, Job Webb. Appreciate you, man. All right. Hey. Y'all better not fucking talk about my hat. That's called swag. Everyone's laughing at my hat, talking about Tom Brady got to the dad hat. Y'all leave me and my damn hat alone on the outro. Y'all keep talking about my hat. I'm gonna be mad, man. Leave me and my hat alone. Let's go. Let's hit the new outro with the best damn hat in the game. Is there something you need to say, Jay?
No. Happy birthday to your wonderful wife.
That's what I have to say. Appreciate it. Happy birthday to the wife. All right, the new outro. Best hat in the game, baby. It's a difference maker. Let's go. We'll see y'all on Friday. Peace. Thank y'all for watching the Wake Up Show with myself and Jay Rich. If you finished the show and you're still hanging around and have yet to hit the thumbs up button or subscribe to the channel, do that right now and turn them alerts on while you're at it. If you want more exclusive access to me, Jay Rich, the entire Destination Devy team, patreon.com/allgas gives you that access. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter for free 99 content. And if you want to get in on that action, use the promo code WAKEUP over on PrizePicks for a 100% deposit match up to $100 for first-time users. And a brand new show dropping on the Mojo YouTube channel. Myself and Jay Rich will be talking about these players and their value from a stock market perspective every single week this fall over on Mojo. It's all gas, all